hello, we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining me from in the world. Thank you for coming to hang out this Friday. And I mean, guys, what an auspicious day it is. It only took 22 days into the month for Hot Toys to give us something that was not related to Star Wars, which I was stunned by. I was like, Howie, what is going on? What are these non-Star Wars related things you're talking about? I thought we rebranded. I thought you were just Star Wars toys now. But look, Howie Claus, look, I know a lot of people have been asking the question of Hot Toys and what they've been putting out this year. And I definitely have some feelings, and I definitely want to discuss it with you guys a little bit later in the stream. So we're going to have an audience participation question that I hope you guys all take part in, whether you're watching live or on the replay, because I've got some feelings. I've got some feelings about the way Hot Toys is tracking in 2026. So I'm keen to hear if I am alone or if other people feel the same way. And I'll be honest, the only thing keeping me going in this stream this month is Arrivals. It's shrink wrapped. I don't think Mars Toys has ever shrunk wrapped. Is that a word, a figure? But I've got the 89 Harvey Dent, which I will be unboxing tonight with you guys. Got it yesterday. And seriously, I'm kind of lucky I've had 3 releases this month to keep me interested, because otherwise, what the heck would I have been talking about on this stream? So 89 Harvey Dent is here. I will unbox him a bit later with you guys. We'll go through the newsy news first, as we typically do. And let me see who's here to hang out on a Friday. So YouTube tells me that the Broke Collector, my foundation member, day 1, I didn't even mention I had channel memberships, and the Broke Collector signed up. He has been a member for 15 months, as has AJ Agrusa. My goodness, guys, that definitely deserves some applause. Thank you. Thank you for supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. We've got Anthony. Hi, Helen. Hope you're feeling better this week. Look, my throat does not feel like it's on fire, so that's definitely a win. Feeling better than last week, so thank you very much. There was a lot of rest last weekend. Raymond's here. Hi, Helen. Good afternoon. Hello to you, Raymond. We've got Ms. Batwoman. Happy Friday, Helen, Shuri, and everyone. I mean, I'm always hopeful little Shuri's going to make an appearance, but she was in here before running amok. And the nights have gotten quite cool here, so she tends to put herself to bed quite early, little Shuri. She's much more responsible with bedtimes than I am. I'm not good with bedtimes at all. I'm totally a night owl. So hopefully we see little Shuri today. That would make me happy. AJ's here. Happy Friday, friends. Hope all is well. I'm good, AJ. Hope you're well. I hope Mrs. Ashley is well too. Tiny Art Guy is here. Hi, Helen. Good to see you on this beautiful sunny afternoon. Does that mean you're still in Greece, or have you gone back to the UK? Because I do not think of beautiful sunny afternoons in the UK. I'm sorry. I just don't. But I hope you're doing well. If you are still in Greece, I hope you're still having an amazing time. S Beam is here. Hello, the Mr. D. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I saw some pictures. It looked pretty good. It looked pretty close to the shots we'd seen from Mars Toys. So, I mean, there's not much to it as a release, but, you know, I tend to unbox these things live on the stream, so we'll take a look at it together. Uncarded Review says J&D Studios, Eve, I think you mean... it's not Mikado, it's Eve Macaro, isn't it? No D. It's a day 1 pre-order. Look, Eve looks incredible. She looks so good, and she actually looks like Ana de Armas, unlike the Hot Toys Artisan figure. So I live in hope that Hot Toys is updating that head sculpt, but they're clearly too busy making Grogus and Troopers and other stuff that I'm not going to hold my breath that they're going to update that figure. But that J&D... the statue looks incredible. It looks really good with the John Wick. I think that look for John Wick goes really well with the ballerina figure, because that is pretty much what he was wearing in the movie as well. So yeah, it looks amazing. I'll be keen to see how much it is, because you know, they've gone that silicone body with all the tattoos. Looks amazing, but yeah, I'm wondering what the price tag would be, because I do feel like I never thought Hot Toys would do the red dress because I don't think they would put that much investment in that kind of a character. Did I hope the head sculpt would actually look like the actress? Yes, but I mean, we'll see. But the J&D statue looks really nice. We've got Valkyrie Magnus. Good morning, Helen and friends. Good morning to you. Raymond says the whole 30 plus Star Wars releases this year and then going this hard for Mandalorian and Grogu is weird as interest has gotten lower and lower with each Star Wars project. Yeah, as I say, I've got a lot of feelings. I'm gonna try to save it for my segment about it. Raymond says I'm happy to get Qui-Gon. I think that's Star Wars, Ra's al Ghul, and Queen Amidala. Yeah, I feel like Queen Amidala was probably one of the few of the many releases we've had that there seemed to be quite a bit of excitement for. Even some of the other announcements, it felt like Star Wars fans weren't even excited for. So I was like, why are we doing this, Howard? Seriously, why are we doing this? Ramstein fan says, howdy, Helen. Shuri, wherever you are, looking forward to this unboxing. Yes, Shuri, I don't know where she's, man. She could be anywhere. She could be in bed. She could come and run amok. Only time will tell. Uncarded Review says 89 Harvey Dent is actually... No, he's not. It's not from Star Wars. He's from Batman. Stop trying to sneak Star Wars things into this stream. Oh, back in the UK and we have a week-long heat wave. Cost was perfect. So what's a heat wave? Because I always joke when I read about heat wave in the UK, I'm like, what, 25 degrees? I'd love to know what you guys consider a heat wave. Oh, it's a UK heat wave set to be 32 on Monday. Oh, bless. I don't think I bat an eyelid to 32 degrees. But I appreciate Western Australia is very, very hot. J&D Ballerina will be about 5K US. I don't know how much the John Wick was, but that is very expensive. High on Figures is here. J&D and Inart at the top of the 1/6 for a while. I guess people will realize, mate, J&D, I'm sorry, J&D is very hit and miss. The Two-Face looks incredible. The Bank Robber Joker looks great. I saw the video from Figure Hideout. But the John Wick is not good. The Christian Bale Batman, I don't think, has a strong likeness. So I don't think you can say J&D is at that level. Inart's doing some good stuff, but I mean, they don't have volume and they don't have licenses. If you're happy with getting like 2 figures a year, amazing. I kind of want more than that. Raymond says, got my Batman Returns 2.0 this week and put the custom Jackson Jew cape on it and getting the Chewbacca. Very cool. B, I will just say, guys, if you have the Batman Returns 2.0, do be mindful that if you're displaying it with the ripped cowl, unfortunately, it does stay in the neck. I had mine in the cowl for maybe 2 weeks, and I saw someone make a comment, and they said it had stained around the sort of jaw, and I was like, oh dear, I don't want that. So I took it off, and I was lucky that where mine stained was at the bottom of the neck, which is kind of not visible if you connect it into, like, I think I'm going to eventually use it for my Mars Toys Mr. W. But yeah, I thought that really was a bummer. So yeah, be mindful if you are doing the ripped cowl. Unfortunately, the cowl might stain the neck. That's my public service announcement for this week. Thank you, Ramstein fan. Come on, hit the like button, guys. 22 watching, only 8 likes. Oh, that's a shame. I've got 27 watching now. Surely I can get into the double digits of likes, please and thank you. I'd appreciate that. Mike's here. Hey, everybody. Friday already. I'm working too much. Good to see you, Helen. Thank you. Nice to see you in the chat. We've got Kyle as well. Hello, Kyle. How you doing? Raymond says, I have the John Wick on pre-order, was below around 800 US, but the Eve with the silicone arms and legs will be much more expensive, I fear. Yeah, I think Eve going to be pricey, gal. She ain't going to come cheap. Batman Collectibles is here. Evening, Helen. My Harvey Dent should be here in the next day or two. Can't wait. Awesome. I didn't even check to see if it's still in stock at Kit, but I got mine yesterday, so I was very, very happy. about that. About a week it took to come from Hong Kong. So that's pretty good. Okay. Comments that are not for me. So shall we start with the newsy news? Let's start with the newsy news. And as I like to do, I like to give a shout out to my paid channel members. So sorry, gifted channel members, I don't include you in this list. So a huge thank you to The Broke Collector, AJ Agrusa, Pop Culture Living Room, Kevin LaFranc, Aaron Broverman, Tijuana Mike, Keith Lee, Valkyrie Magnus, Miss Batwoman, Bob Dylan, Blue Tattoo, Winman42, Blurred Dad Life, Moose Dream, Tiny Art Guy, Anthony Stanfield, Figure Posing Channel, Ramstein Fan, Hawk Benji, Batman Collectibles, Gojo 2005, Big Rib, and Starchild L7. Guys, I appreciate you. Thank you. Give an applause. Guys, we don't have to do the William Wang PSA anymore. The website is still down. What a treat. Maybe we can move on with our lives. Wouldn't that be nice? Winman's here. Good morning, everyone from Albuquerque. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm good, Winman. How are you? I saw, oh God, I can't remember. I'm going to get confused now. I can't remember if it was you or Valkyrie. I think maybe it was Valkyrie that posted pictures of James Bond in the 89 Batmobile, and I thought that was really cool. Sorry, I think I'm getting my people mixed up. Apologies. All right, guys. Howard decided on this, the 22nd day of the month, that he would give us some non-Star Wars IP related this. And it was a shock. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to feel. I thought this would just be Star Wars month, but thankfully it's not. So, wow, no Wang feels weird, but okay. I mean, the website's down. And I did kind of say I was going to keep going while that website was up. And I know it feels weird. Like I was putting together the slides. I was like, oh my God. I had that PSA going for literally a year. But there's no website now. So maybe we can move on. Yeah, Winman. I think it was Valkyrie. I'm so sorry. I'm getting my people mixed up. Ramstein fan says this looks cool along with the promo movie Spider-Man. I feel like I'm going to have some hot takes on the Spider-Man. Mike says, okay, so I have two questions. Who is this guy and why does he get seamless wrists? So, this is Cyclone from Twilight of the Warriors Walled In. I do not know what this is, but I will say, even though this figure is clearly not for me, there's elements of it that I find really exciting. And one of them is the fact that he comes with, I think, 4 different pairs of seamless swap out arms. So for the wrists, which is not a Hot Toys thing to really do, and I hope is something that they will start to do a bit more of, particularly with these kinds of figures that are in cloth clothing, because this is the nice thing about these kinds of figures. These outfits, superposable. And I think of figures like John Wick, I think of figures like Kane, where you do want to pose them with weapons. And, you know, they're wearing beautifully tailored suits. And it's true, sometimes you just can't hide the wrist peg and it does take a bit away from a display. So I would love to see more of these figures getting those swap out seamless arms. And I think this was, with the wrists. And I think it was the same with Shang-Chi. I think a lot of people were getting those swap out sort of forearms to make Shang-Chi seamless. And to me, I just feel like it's such a little thing to do that can make such a difference in how a figure looks. And as I said, I do not know a lot about this. I think the figure looks cool. I think the outfit, as I say, it looks nicely tailored. It looks superposable. You're getting some nice accessories with it. And as I said, sorry, my bad, five sets of seamless forearms. And this is the kind of thing I want to see Hot Toys doing more of. Like, we're in this time where people want things to be more realistic, and this is such a small thing that can make a big difference. You also don't have to worry about breaking wrist pegs. What a treat. And I like it. We've got a set of the hands for the weapons, and then we've got the sets of the hands for the different accessories, the cigarette and the lighter, his sort of hook things that he has. He comes in 2 sets of interchangeable glasses as well. So one is plastic, one is metal. He's got a bit of a diorama display base. I think there's some things to like about this. And I hope this isn't going to be one of those things that they do it and then we don't see it again for a year, because they're just like, oh, well, we did it for that one exclusive figure and we won't do it again for the longest time. I really hope we see more of it. I don't know if it's Sabi or Sabi. I'm going to say Sabi and hope it's correct. If it's not, please tell me how to pronounce your name. I was about to say the same. I wish Wolverine had those wrists. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that wish certain figures had the seamless forearms. Raymond says, never seen this so easy skip. He does look pretty good though. So for people who want this and happy to see seamless wrists, yeah. Would be nice to see more of it. Mike says this guy also gets metal glasses. Dude must be a big deal over there. Yeah, because there was pictures of Howard. I don't know if he was giving or he was showing the prototype to the actor. It's when he was wearing his little Star Wars shirt. That was a sign of things to come. But yeah, here we go. Han Figure says he's famous in Hong Kong. The figure is only for the locals. Maybe it is. Winman says the same thing. It's a hit movie from Hong Kong based on a trilogy of books. They're currently shooting the second film. Oh, action martial arts thriller. They're also filming Kane in Hong Kong as well, I understand. I'm excited. Ace says the same thing. Louis Koo is a famous actor in Hong Kong. The roundhouse kick pose is great. Love the range of motion. Yeah, and this is... I know he's not dude in a suit, but dude in a fabric outfit. You can do so much with them. And it is. I think it's so cool having the seamless wrist. That is one thing that stood out for me a lot in these promo images. Han Figure says the accessories are really cool. The classic red stool and rice bowl. Yeah, I was almost surprised that they gave him the cigarette and the lighter, because sometimes Hot Toys tends to shy away from like controversial accessories. So I thought it was cool that they had them. Ramstein fan says Joaquin Phoenix Joker Artisan regular came with seamless swap out wrists. He's one, but I mean, let's be honest, there's not been a lot of them. Like they did the Heath Ledger Joker, that certainly doesn't have them, which I think is a bit of a letdown, because I do think a lot of people like to have that figure just in the shirt and the vest. Maybe they'll do that for the 5.0, but there's a lot of figures over the years that would have benefited from those. Even the new John Wick that's coming out, that would have been cool to have had the seamless forearms, but no. Dr. Nose here. Hi, Helen. Shuri, hope you're well. This looks awesome. Great to see Asian cinema get some attention, make more from different genres. Oh, we're going to talk more about make more from different genres a little bit later, but nice to see you in the chat. Is this figure limited? I might have to pick this up. My collection is so random and all over the place. I mean, I know they talked about Hong Kong Comic-Con. That's a mouthful. And there being, I think it was 400 units there. But I would assume this would trickle down to, like Sideshow does tend to get a lot of exclusives. So I would expect some to head that way. I don't think it's often that Sideshow doesn't get exclusives from Hot Toys. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like they typically do. Keith's here. Morning, friends. Happy Friday and long weekend for my American friends. Oh, long weekend. Lucky you guys. We get a long weekend next weekend. Goodness, people having beefs in the chat. Let's not have beefs in the chat, guys. Anthony says, no idea who this is. I'll have to add the movie to my watch list. Looks like a great figure, though. Yeah, I haven't watched any martial arts movies in the longest time. As a kid, I saw a lot of them. My brother was really into like Bruce Lee movies and Jackie Chan, so I saw a lot of them as a kid. And then I haven't really seen any since. And I don't remember not enjoying them. Like, I'm pretty sure I liked them, so I don't really know what my excuse is there. Maybe I might try to track this down as well and give it a watch. One moment. All right. So this is, let me just recheck. So again, Cyclone from Twilight of the Warriors Walled In. Very cool, very cool. You know, I'm prone to some hot takes, and I got some feelings about Spider-Man. I have some big feelings about Spider-Man. Spider-Man Final Swingsuit, movie promo edition from Spider-Man No Way Home. Correct me if I'm wrong. For me, I feel like in the past, when Hot Toys has done movie promo edition figures, they have typically been either just before or just after the release of a movie. So we're going to do it as a wider release, but we're going to release a certain number as movie promo edition. We're going to get them out the door quickly, sell them while the hype is high. To me, movie promo edition doesn't make sense under the No Way Home label. No Way Home was released in December 2021, if I'm right. And I was shocked because I didn't think it was that old. But this is what Google tells me. Google tells me that, let me just check my notes, the worldwide release was in December 2021. So that was a long time ago. So movie promo edition now to have No Way Home does not make sense to me. We have a version of this figure that came out, in 2024? So not even that long ago, they did this. They did this figure, they did this suit. Had they not done that, I'd go, okay. But I'm just struggling with the concept of movie promo for a movie that came out in December 2021. And we're going to get a movie in July. Don't tell me they're not making figures from that movie. So I don't understand the point of this. And I know they've tried to say there's some differences and whatnot. I still just don't understand. Because if you wanted this suit of Spider-Man from No Way Home, surely you bought that figure in 2024. I have to think at this point, people are more concerned about seeing the new movie and seeing what's released from that. And this is another one that at Hong Kong Comic Con, there's going to be 400 units available. So I'm sure we'll see some videos of it soon. But I just feel so underwhelmed by this. This felt like just such a nothing burger to me. And this is where I'm like, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm just so lacking enthusiasm for announcements like this. Movie promo edition. Why? So this is the head sculpt. There's people debating, is it reused, is it new? I don't know. I'm just like, another Tom Holland Spider-Man. Yay. Yay. You can pose the figure like this if you want to damage the suit. Go nuts. I cannot. And then this is what makes me chuckle, because they're really trying to push. It's different. It's different, guys. It's so different. All this made me think was they've probably changed up the body for the inevitable, it's Brand New Day, right? They've probably made a slightly bigger body for Brand New Day. And how can we maximize ROI in the development of this body? Oh, let's do movie promo version from No Way Home and roll it out. That's all I could think of with this. I just feel like the proportions of this figure will be identical to Brand New Day. So it's slightly taller. The shoulders are a bit more broader. Bit more musculature. I don't know. Is it just me? Is it just me that feels this way about this figure? Like, seriously, if someone is hyped about this, please tell me why so I can understand, because I just don't care. So what are you getting? You're getting the sculpt with separate rolling eyeballs. You're getting upgraded body with enhanced physique. 4 pairs of interchangeable eyepieces. You're getting the soft mask he can hold in his hand. You're getting some of the web effects. You're getting hands. And you're getting a pretty simple base. Meh. Mike says, leave it to Hot Toys to sabotage themselves. I would assume we're getting a Spider-Man figure from Brand New Day. Why do this now? It looks good, though. It's the $64 question. All I can think of is they've developed this new body, so now they're trying to do as many things with it as they can. Because movie promo edition for a movie from December 2021, I just don't understand. Thought this was a Brand New Day coming up. Why would you, like, even if it was, wouldn't you do something under the name of that movie? Like, to do it as No Way Home and then slap the movie promo edition label on it. It makes no sense to me. Hot Toys blatantly lazy this year. I mean, I'll talk about that more later. Ramstein fan says, yeah, this is just the appetizer for the upcoming one they're using. I feel like it's spare parts Spider-Man. We've got some leftover Tom Holland sculpts. We've developed this new body. We've got some extra ones. Maybe we've got some leftover fabric from the first suit. And we'll call it movie promo limited edition. And they'll lap it up. They'll eat it up. Raymond says, essentially the new red and blue suit, but with some tweaks and without the diorama. The masked face has a better shape than the original Spidey. The body is better, but not by much, so an easy skip. I have to think, unless you are a diehard Spider-Man fan and you've got to have every single one, like Tom Holland's your guy, you need them all, I have to think surely this is not going to be highly desired. Why not movie promo for the new movie? This is a weird release. 3,000%. 3,000%. Windman says, so the suit has a different body and supposedly a new suit, and this is going to be more flexible for Spidey poses. Okay, cool. But it looks like the same non-bendable webs, so this swinging is suspect. I mean, they do some photoshopping in the blogger pics, and I wish they would disclose when they do that, because I don't like seeing a picture and having people think their figure can do that if it cannot. So I think it's great that we now have people like Zord doing blogger photos, because I think he definitely shows some of the extremes you can go to with the figures. But I do think, which one was it? I think it was the Comic Silver Surfer. There was some stuff there. I was like, oh, you've photoshopped stands and stuff out. Just say that you've done that so people know that. Do you have a Tom Holland Spider-Man? I do not. I currently don't have any Spider-Man figures in my collection. Tom Holland is not my favorite Spider-Man. Sorry. He's just not. They're reusing the artisan head sculpt, just clean and not rooted hair. I feel like we've seen it before. Maybe it is the artisan one, because the artisan one, there was the artisan version and the sculpted. Potentially. I don't know, Sabi Sabi. This could very well be a clear case of milking the cow, or probably contractual obligations like so many of the Iron Man repaints. I definitely feel like they're looking to make some moolah. This is also for the people that missed out on that one. But is that one hard to find? Like, genuine question. I have no idea. I have no idea at all. Valkyrie says, I think I have a bunch of Tom Holland Spider-Man. Do I need another one? I can't think if you've got the original that you need this one. Or that you'd even be chasing it, not knowing what are we getting in the new movie. Like, is he going to get a new suit along the way? Like, how is that going to look? Is that going to look better? I don't know. Yeah, I think this might be the answer. They needed something to sell for Hong Kong Comic-Con. I think you might be right high on figures. I kind of feel like that's probably the answer to the question. Hot Toys have to make that money. They can't have eBay get all of it. So true. I think this is Eric. Good morning, Helen and friends. Spidey is the new Iron Man milking it indeed. Yeah, look. Maybe we'll get a neon tech Spider-Man one day. That'll be exciting. Mike says, what's interesting is that Hot Toy says in the description that the material is more durable and better suited for extreme posing, but the blue portion worries me. Look, I look at some of these poses and I don't know what material this is, but I think if you're going to leave it in one of these poses on either side for a long period of time, I have to think that's going to impact on the material. I don't know. Didn't the first one sell out waitlist? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I just know I'm pretty sure it came out in 2024. And I have to think they would have made a ton of them. Like, No Way Home hype was real. And even when I've gone to Hong Kong, like in the Hot Toy stores, like there's No Way Home figures just sitting there. You could easily walk in and get a Doc Ock or a Green Goblin. There's Spider-Man figures. Like, they're floating around. They're floating around. Miss Batwoman says, should we expect another Iron Man 2? I'm so fatigued with Star Wars, Spider-Man, and Iron Man figures. Come on, Hot Toys, give us something different and fun. Yep, we're going to talk about that a bit later, Miss Batwoman, because that's exactly how I am feeling right now. Ace says I only have 2 Spider-Man figures, and that's only to complete the Avengers Endgame Infinity War. Hot Toy Spider-Man figures cannot pose without suit damage. That's why I avoid them. Yeah, I think the only one that really works for posing is the is it the homemade suit? Is that what it's called, like from the first movie? Because it's that cloth, but every other one I would be way too concerned. And I know of a lot of people that like to pose, that when they have those Spider-Man figures, they get 2. It's like, I've got one to pose and I've got one that I'm going to try to keep pristine. That says a lot about the quality of the fabric, doesn't it? Oh, have a nice weekend, Winman. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. High on Figure says, absolutely right about overstocked No Way Home figures. Although Doc Ock has sold out for now, there's Doctor Strange, Green Goblin, both editions, Electro. I remember when I went to Hong Kong must have been November 2024, and Toy Hunters had a sale, and I bought Kate Bishop and Valkyrie. And literally the guy's like, do you want to buy Doc Ock? Do you want to buy Green Goblin? I was like, no, thank you. I don't want any of these figures. And I went back November last year, still had No Way Home figures sitting around in multiple Hot Toy stores. So they produced a lot of them. Mike says more Iron Man will probably come out in September or October for Doomsday. Yeah, probably. Let's another look at what comes with spare parts Spider-Man. Star Wars in 60 seconds. Lol with the guy upselling you. I mean, good on him, but I just had no interest. Valkyrie's heading off. Thank you for coming to hang out. I hope you enjoy the rest of the stream when you catch the replay. Star Wars in 60 seconds. I would have very happily not given Star Wars any seconds, but, I made a commitment that every time there was Star Wars news, I would give it a minute of my life. So this is that minute. A minute on my stopwatch. Yes, my phone screen needs a clean. Don't judge me. Star Wars in 60 seconds. Serenity now. Hit the like button if you like Star Wars in 60 seconds. What a treat. All right. Howie Claus is here. Oprah Howie. He lives to give, and he wants you to know that Hot Toys is now officially Star Wars toys. We have had more than 30 Star Wars announcements and releases in April and May because that's all they care about now. We got Clone Commando Fixer because we got the red guy this week. Now we need the green guy. We've got to complete all the colors of the rainbow. We've got this guy. He was announced in April, released in May. He kind of thinks he's a big deal because he's been sped up with the release date. He's waving to his fans. Dude, you are not it in a bit. No one cares. Star Wars Jane Foster. She's got a bit of a unique look. She reminds me of the really kitsch dolls my mum has, ornamental dolls in her house. It's kind of freaky. One man boob dude was not enough. Now we have two. I want to know why this workshop doesn't believe in personal protective equipment. Battle Droid and Stat, Road to the Hut, and respectfully, the only cut I care about is Pizza the Hut. Hot Toys, if you're going to make a hut we care about, give me Pizza the Hut. Road to the Hut. Please. I cannot. Look at Pizza the Hut. Who wouldn't buy this? I would buy Pizza the Hut. I'd buy Spaceballs. What a treat. Star Wars Jane Foster is totally her name. Too funny. Thank you, Spin. Yay, some appreciation for Pizza the Hut. Thank you, Miss Batwoman. Pizza the Hut is iconic. It's so creepy that you can see that man's human face underneath, but I don't care. Pizza the Hut. He's the best hut there is in any galaxy, near or far. Love that Pizza the Hut, although I've never been to Pizza Hut. Stop. I won't believe that someone in the US has not been to Pizza Hut. Come on now. Oh, Anthony Stanfield says something you said last week happened to me. Pop Collectibles cancelled 2 pre-orders that were released 18 months ago and are listed as in stock because the price has increased since release. That's what they do. I've spoken to a friend that buys from Pop Collectibles, and I asked the question. I was like, dude, like, what are you doing? And they said to me, like, no, I don't pre-order from them because that's what they do. They say, I've been caught out, and I know if I pre-order something with them and change my mind, I'm in a world of hurt. So I do know there's some people that will buy from them but wait for it to be released and in stock because that's what they do. They're going to hunt around and try to find cheap secondary market figures to send you because if the price goes up, they want to sell it for more. They're already selling it at a nice markup. The figures are a lot cheaper in Hong Kong than what they are, I know, definitely in Australia and probably in the US. So yeah, I totally believe those stories. I'm sorry that happened though. I hope you can get them elsewhere, although if they're from 18 months ago, that might be a bit hard. S-Beam knows. Anything Spaceballs is a dopo. Spaceballs would be amazing. High on figures. Do you reckon you'd get a Spider-Man Noir figure? No, I would not. Anthony says it took 12 months of chasing to finally get the refund. I won't PO from them anymore. Yeah, that's wild. And this is the thing, like, I hear so many stories like that about them. And I just, as I said, I can understand people saying, I'll buy from them if it's in stock. But I just always, and I mean, I lost some money to William Wang. I'm very grateful it was less than $100, but still, I'm not proud of that. These people can just do things like that. They can up and disappear. Like, we put a lot of trust in these people, and Pop Collectibles, they sponsor a lot of YouTubers, so they get their name out there. But people like you and I, we're not getting that special YouTube treatment. We're not. We're not. Now I want pizza. Well, I mean, it's heading up to lunchtime. If you're in the US, you could get some pizza. Helen, seriously, I've never been to Pizza Hut. My Italian heritage forbids it. Wow. Next, you're going to tell me you don't believe in pineapple on pizza. 12 months of chasing, I commend your persistence. Yeah, I mean, me too. Me too. Dr. No says, I held the UK record for making the most amount of pizza in one evening at Pizza Hut. Really? That's cool. Pizza the Hut. What an icon. What a legend. I'm going to take a 2-second break. And while I'm there, I hope that all 43 people have hit the like button, please and thank you. That would be appreciated. I'm back. Did you hit the like button? I hope you did. I get asked interesting questions this stream. Do you have Domino's in Australia? Yes, we do. We do. Oh, pineapple should never be mixed with pizza. Citrus is reserved for chocolate only. Mike, you just... Oh, my goodness, the hot takes, the hot takes. Guys, let's talk about Hot Toys and their 2026 lineup of figures. Because I got some thoughts, I got some feelings. I've done a few statistics. Look at me go. Did a little bit of research. So I'm asking the question this week. Has Hot Toys become too one note with the flood of Star Wars related announcements and releases? Whether you're watching live or in the replay, let me know. I'm keen to know if other people are feeling the way I'm feeling. Because it occurs to me that we are almost at the end of May. I have not pre-ordered one Hot Toys item in 2026. The last thing I pre-ordered was the Artisan Ballerina alongside the Artisan John Wick Chapter 1 and the standard John Wick Chapter 1 because I love John Wick. The John Wick Chapter 1 was probably the last new announcement Hot Toys has done that I genuinely felt a lot of excitement for. And I'm not the kind of person that needs every figure to be something for me, but it's also really disappointing to feel like there's not been things that have made me really feel excited about what Hot Toys is doing, optimistic about where they're going. We're in a scenario where in April and May, we have had 31 Star Wars figures announced and or released. We've had at least 10 figures from The Mandalorian and Grogu, and that thing only released yesterday, that movie. Like, I can't even think, when did Hot Toys last have that many announcements before a movie had even hit the cinema? It's unheard of. Like, we get excited if they announce a figure before a movie or just after it's released, but to have like 10 is crazy. And you compare that to in April and May, there's been announcements and releases of every other IP combined, 12. 31 to 12. And of that 12, 7 are Marvel, and 0 are DC. So if you like DC, nuts to you. Big old nothing burger. I'm just finding myself very underwhelmed, and I'm becoming more and more disinterested, because I get it. Star Wars, May the 4th, all that's cool. I got no problem with you guys having a bit of a Star Wars focus. But there's other collectors, and even Star Wars collectors to me don't seem like they've been that enthusiastic for this huge wave of announcements and releases. I feel like there's very few of the Star Wars announcements that have gotten a lot of hype. So I thought I would do a little bit of a breakdown. So Hot Toys announcements in 2026. Here's what we're looking at. So Star Wars is blue, Marvel is purple, DC is orange, other is yellow. So in January, it was quite encouraging because we had Hot Toys announcing other IPs that were not Star Wars, Marvel, and DC, because we often hear collectors say it would be great if they stepped outside of those 3 franchises. So in January, I was like, okay, this is interesting. In February, we had a bit, February and March, of course, impacted by Chinese New Year's. The numbers were down, but we had a little bit more of an even split. But nothing DC from February on, nothing at all. And then in March, again, as I said, slow month after Chinese New Year. And then from April and May, it's just been all about Star Wars. And it literally took till today for them to make an announcement that was not Star Wars. We had 15 Star Wars announcements in a row before we got the announcement of spare parts Spider-Man. It's just wild to me. And if I look at like the announcements, like in January, we had Indiana Jones, we had the K-pop Demon Hunters, we had Predator. And again, these are not for me, but I genuinely was like, K-pop Demon Hunters, cool. Like they're branching out, different IP, huge movie. Like that's cool to see them doing something different, revisiting a classic like Indiana Jones. I'm all for it. Predator, new movies come out. There's a lot of interest. Like, it's a line that Hot Toys, I think, has done very well with. I was like, cool. Like, we're seeing some different stuff here. Like, that's really encouraging. Same thing in February. We saw some DC comic figures, and, we all know Hono's kind of dead. And I was like, hey, you know what? That's cool. There's a lot of people that would prefer comic iteration of characters, prefer to live action. Cool. Like I'm glad they're doing something a little bit different, even though it is DC. We got the Chief Jack Sparrow, a bit random, but hey, again, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. It's quite popular. It's something they haven't done in a while. I was like, cool. Like we're getting a little bit of variety here. And if you think of it, even if I'm going back to January, like what they were releasing, we had the Squid Games figure, we had Scorched Xenomorph, we had Stitch, we had Jinx. So there was some really nice variety. If we go to February, we had like some Kamen Rider figures, we had Vi, we had James Bond. So again, like we just had that nice bit of variety that kept things interesting. And ever since then, after we awoke from Chinese New Year, it's just been, everything has been Star Wars. And it's just so one note. It's of note, and I know I'm not a Star Wars person and maybe I'm biased, but as I said, I'm looking at the sentiment from people and it doesn't even feel to me like Star Wars fans are like loving life and, oh my God, I'm drowning in 25 new POs. Like, I don't feel like that's what's happened. I feel like there's been quite a bit of underwhelm with some of these figures that have been announced. And I just don't want to feel like I'm lacking enthusiasm, because as I said earlier in the stream, like Hot Toys is the main producer of 6-scale figures. They do the volume. So for us to have big collections like this, you need a company like them doing a high production of figures. And I just can't think of really, you could only announce 4 non-Star Wars things in close to 2 months. It's just wild to me. And then this is the releases. So as I mentioned, we had releases in January, like Squid Game's figure. We had Human Torch from Deadpool Wolverine, Scorch Xenomorph, Stitch, Jinx. So we had a nice mix of things. In February, same thing. February saw Kamen Riders, Vi, James Bond. I'm pretty sure that's when Strike Suit Cap came out. In January, we had Batman and Robin, which was cool. March, we had more Kamen Riders. We had the Haze Fractal Iron Man. We had The Thing. We had Artisan Moon Knight. And ever since, another Artisan Anakin, another Trooper, another this, another... It's Luke Skywalker, but he has a vest. So all of this to say, come back to my original question. Has Hot Toys become too one-note? Is it just me that's feeling this fatigue about just the sea of Star Wars announcements? I want to know what you guys think, whether you're live or in the replay. I want to know what you're thinking, what you're feeling about all this. Let me catch up. I'm getting... What's your favorite fast food? Mexican food. But these questions are very random. Oh God. Did you have Dial-A-Dinos? I've got no idea. I do not know if we did. Perth is we're a bit special. I have no idea, but I like pizza. I've got nothing against pizza. It's delicious. Mike, are you trolling me? 1 note with Star Wars related announcements. No, really? Okay. Earth 616 Collector. Yes, but it's saving me so much money. Only 3 Hot Toys for me in I think you mean 2026 so far? That's okay, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything I've got coming in, with the exception of the Mars Toys Mr. D, it's all stuff I ordered 2025 or earlier. Like, I feel like it's been almost 6 months since I've pre-ordered a Hot Toys figure. I feel like that's a really long time. Oh, proud to say I have hundreds of figures, not one Star Wars. You know what? That deserves a round of applause. I have around 110 figures, not one Star Wars. I'm positive Hot Toys will have a lot of announcements for Avengers Doomsday. When is that? In December? Is it December? I cannot remember. But I'm trying to think in my head, like, what could come out. Like, I'm hopeful that we will get Amelia Alcock Supergirl. I have a feeling that Hot Toys and InArt will both do that because they've both shared the trailer. We've got another Spider-Man movie. But even they did the Alien tease and the Punisher tease. Where are they? We're getting Star Wars figures announced and released in days and weeks. Where's the fruition of the teasers for Punisher and Alien? Where are they? Oh, Mike, don't try to sneak your Star Wars stuff in here. S-Beam says March to May is usually Star Wars loaded. The rest of the year will be Spider-Man heavy until Doomsday. We'll also have Aliens and He-Man to look out for. I feel like they have been Star Wars heavy, but there's been other things. Like, I can't think... Because I know last year, like, oh, May the 4th was such a letdown. We hardly got anything. That's my impression of general Star Wars people. I'm sorry. This is how you all sound in my head. I feel like they've always had other things as well. Like, yes, they may have announced a bunch of things, But to have things announced in April and released in May, that doesn't feel typical to me. This chair is annoying me today. Apologies. So, but even March was quiet. But these, as I said, I feel like there can be Star Wars dominant weeks, but be other things as well. Whereas this month, it's just been Star Wars and nothing else. I don't feel like that's typically what we get. Miss Batwoman says, I have Star Wars fatigue. I understand the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, but this is too much. It is not. I can't think of any other movie that's had like 10 announcements before the movie even came out. Like, that's not standard. That's not standard to me. Ren says, Howard Chan is a massive Star Wars fan and May is Star Wars month, and then the Mando and Grogu is also popular. I hear what people are saying, but as I said, I feel like May has not been 100% Star Wars only for Hot Toys in recent history that I can think of. There's been other things. The Broke Collector says, I, for one, am grateful for the break in non-Star Wars announcements. Too much at one time is way too much stress on my wallet. But to have nothing? Like, this is what gets me. Nothing. There's nothing that I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I've got a pre-order. It's very ho-hum. Earth Collector 616, I assume we'll get slammed with Marvel releases in the second half of the year between Brand New Day and Doomsday. Quite possibly. Sabi says, I tell you what, Hono cooked with Wolverine and Magneto. And we'll probably never get anything else from Hono again. Hot Toys being so close to Disney is a double-edged sword for them. The amount of Star Wars figures is insane. It certainly is. Blue Tattoo is here. Hey, everyone. Hello, Blue. Nice to see you in the chat. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Ren says, I don't mind the Star Wars announcements. Then again, I don't collect much. Ren's wallet is safe. Natalie Harris is here. Hi, Helen. Good afternoon. Yep, agree with the Star Wars releases. And this is what gets me. I'm like, I think of so many characters that would have been good to have that they didn't do. And I'll always come up with things like the Colin Farrell Penguin. Like, they didn't do it from the Batman movie. And that TV series was so good. I was like, surely they give us a penguin. Nope. No penguin for you. No Catwoman for you. Just have another Anakin and Luke with a vest. Do you allow yourself to pre-order 4 to 5 figures in a single month? If they're things I want, I think it's probably not been a while since I do that. I think the last time I pre-ordered Hot Toys, I pre-ordered 3 in one hit, which was the ballerina and the 2 versions of the Chapter 1 wig. But, I mean, if they announced, I'd just be elated if they announced 5 things in a single month that I thought were interesting, let alone things I wanted to pre-order. Tijuana Mike is here. Happy Friday, collectors. Happy Friday to you. They can make a EMBO that barely showed up in Star Wars, but not Okoye. Blue Tattoo, I remember once I was told one of the characters they made in Star Wars didn't even speak, and they made a character with no lines, and they won't make Okoye. Like, so many cool characters that they have not made. He's the green trooper, the red one, the yellow one, the purple one. All this stuff. All this stuff, I just cannot. I can't get Okoye. Do we think Howie will do us a solid and finally give us Okoye from Doomsday? I just want Okoye in the Dor Milaje outfit so I can finish my A-Force, please and thank you. If not, a third-party company. Are you listening? Anybody? Oh, goodness. Yeah, everybody keeps telling me, I know Howard's a Star Wars fan. I know that. But I feel like May is not always just Star Wars and nothing else. In April and May in previous years, I feel like we've still gotten other things. This is what is very not typical. It's just Star Wars. Like until today, we had 15 where is it? No, not Pizza the Hut. Well, the Pizza the Hut, what a delicious reminder. Get pizza. Look at this. 15 announcements before the one Spider-Man. These are not typical ratios. I know May the 4th, I know Howard's love, like, I know, like, people keep telling me this, but I'm like, what we're getting this year, I don't think this is standard behavior. Look at April and May. Have they been a bit more Star Wars heavy in the past? Probably, but to this extent, with nothing else? 4 other IPs for the whole month announced. 2 months. Dr. No says no Hot Toys pre-orders for me so far this year, but we'll get Queen Amidala to go with my Samurai and Ninja collection. Natalie, I'd like to see the Alien stuff. They did that big teaser, the Reeboks 40th anniversary. Where is it? Where is it? Batman Collectible says, as much as I'd love to wake up to some awesome Batman announcements, I'm secretly okay with my wallet being untouched for a bit. My wallet is very untouched. Boba Fett? Okay, you do you. OT Star Wars always sells. Since the sequels were so poorly received, the prequels now might be considered part of the OT. But this is what gets me. I'm not seeing people... a lot of Star Wars fans go like loving all these announcements. If I could see them go, oh my God, this is the best, love it, buy, I'd go, okay. But to me, it even feels like people that are interested in these figures are largely not interested in these figures overall. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, Batman collectibles. I just need Mars Toys to drop Bob the Goon and other 89 figures plus that Kilmer. Yeah, I posted on... I commented on their picture of the Kilmer Bruce Wayne, and I asked them if they were considering the George Clooney. And they liked my comment, so I'm hoping that's a positive sign. Blurred Dad Life says, I sold my Star Wars collection 2 years ago. I'm happy for those who collect it, but I'm ready to see something for DC, Marvel, and other IP. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see something DC, because there's been nothing DC announced or released pretty much since February. So we're looking at close to 3 months with nothing DC at all. Ren says, all 3 big IPs, Star Wars has the most characters that has the potential of getting figure representation, droids, troopers, creatures, vehicles. I feel like a lot of those vehicles sit around, though. Like, I look at the pop culture website and I look at what's discounted, and I often see it's the Blurg, it's this vehicle, it's that. Like, are they big sellers, some of these things they do, or is this just Howie building his wish list of what he wants? I have no idea. Sterling's Fine Art. Hello, Helen. Happy Friday to everyone. Happy Friday to you. Thank you for coming to hang out. More Pizza the Hut. I mean, if they'd announced Pizza the Hut, all would be forgiven. All would be forgiven. S-Beam says they've been this way in previous years. I don't know that it's been like 15 to 1. I don't know it's been that bad. January was good for announcements and then downhill. I agree. I totally agree. As I said, the K-pop Demon Hunters, the Predator figure, indie, like, we had nice variety. And then we just went totally downhill from there. Delph Blue Porcelain Art Trooper and No Kravitz Catwoman. I mean, We've got 2 life-size things with the man boobs exposed. And we can't get Zoe Kravitz Catwoman or Colin Farrell Penguin or Okoye. But let's make another life-size Grogu. Let's make this. Let's make every trooper that's ever walked through a frame. Disney's clearly pulling the strings, i.e. Artisan, Quarter Scale Mando. Yeah, I didn't even go there with all those additional teasers. I just couldn't. Make fun all you want, Helen. I'd buy a Clooney day one. I'm not making fun. I legitimately now am like, if they're making a Val Kilmer Bruce Wayne, I kind of now want a George Bruce Wayne too. So I was legitimately asking. I was like, well, you're doing Val. Will you do George? I think I'd be in for that as well. I kind of picture a situation. See how excited I'm getting for a different IP? How cool would it have been if Star Wars, if Star Wars toys, I should call them, like they could have done Poison Ivy from Batman and Robin. There's so many other things, a Batgirl, there's so many other things they could have done. Like, I know DC's not had amazing movies right now, but I still think there's so much in the back catalogue they could have done. But I'm considering now with my display having the Keaton movies, also the Burton movies in one display and the Schumachers in another. So there's part of me that wants that George Clooney Bruce Wayne now. Again, words I never thought I would say, but here I am. Here I am. Oh. And with the new movie out, it's going to be Star Wars hype right now. Yeah, it's very much Star Wars hype. Way too much. What figure was a surprise pre-order for you? One you didn't expect to order? I don't really know. I tend to stick to lines I collect. I don't really order random things. So I don't know. Wait till Celebration next year could say the same thing. Celebration, I understand, but that's like an event and a week. It's not like 2 months worth. Can't wait to see everybody flipping all the figures from Celebration. What a treat. If they can make Rhoda the Hutt, surely they can make Chet from Weird Science epic. Oh my god, Weird Science was such a cool movie. Oh. Blue Tattoo says, I got Clooney Batman and would totally buy a Clooney Bruce too. I'm waiting for Clooney Batman. I got Robin. I think people are only just getting Clooney Batman from Sideshow now, so I gotta think it's probably at least another month away from me, but I'm hoping he's not too far away. Sterling's Fine Art said, I ordered the Barbossa Standard Edition by mistake. Blame it on the Henny. Oh, goodness. But that Barbossa figure looks really nice. Looks very nice. So, guys, again, January, we got some nice variety. February, variety. From April, no more variety. Just Star Wars. So again, let me know what you think. I know I've got a lot of people that watch the stream on replay, so I'm keen to know. I feel like it's a mixed bag. I think some people are saying, yes, fatigued. Some people are going, no, this is what we should expect. And I still don't think it's this lopsided in previous years. And other people seem to be happy. So it is what it is. The Barbossa figure is top notch. It looks it. Looks very good. And again, this is again like Hot Toys keeps just making Jack Sparrow. Can we not make some different Pirates figures? Like, it's been a while. I think there's still a lot of interest in that franchise. Like, why are you not making Barbossa, Davy Jones, Elizabeth Swann, Will Turner? That'd be a great line of figures. What a treat. Natalie says, I did think when the Batman Returns 2.0 came out that we might get Catwoman. this is what gets me, Natalie. Like, I was so convinced when Hot Toys announced the Bat Missile. Because to do a vehicle is like a big investment. Because, like, the 89 redoing that, wash, rinse, repeat, they did what they did last time. I'm not mad about it. But to do all of that for the Bat Missile, I was like, oh my God, Catwoman and Penguin must be coming. They've got the returns, they're doing the vehicle. Surely we're now going to get Catwoman and Penguin. And that was a good 18 months ago, because it was November 2024 that the Bat Missile was announced and put on display at Secret Base. I know, because that was the day I was flying out of Hong Kong, and I sadly didn't have enough time to go to Secret Base to see the Bat Missile, which I would have really loved to have done, but I will never see it with my own eyes now. They had the 85th anniversary of Batman, and again, we thought, oh my God, they're going to make all these announcements. Nope. And even when they did Mr. Freeze, I was like, oh my God, do Poison Ivy. Like, surely you're going to do Poison Ivy as well. No, we are not. No Poison Ivy for you. I can't work it out. I can't work it out. That's the newsy news done. That's the audience participation question done. As I said, if you're watching in the replay, let me know which camp you fall into, or if you've got a completely different point of view. I'd love to know what you think. SBeam says, I understand non-Star Wars fans would feel overwhelmed by the announcements, or casual Star Wars fans even. Diehard Star Wars fans are loving it, much like it would be the other way around for other IPs. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm seeing that. And maybe it's just not the circles I'm in, which very well could be the case. Very well could be the case. Blue, I need more pirate figures. Will Elizabeth, Bootstrap Bill, Davy Jones. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Hot Toys could have built out a whole pirates line, and that would have been interesting. They're figures that were made a long time ago, the ones that they did. Like, why not revisit that with all the improvements that you've made? You've done a really good Jack Sparrow. Let people build it out. I don't get the thinking there. They're leaving so much on the table for other companies, and this is part of the frustration, because I think third party has really quietened down. And again, this is where I'm like, I think we are relying on the volume that Hot Toys does to keep our collections, adding the figures we like, keeping things ticking over. If not them, who? If not them, who? Guys, should we unbox Harvey Dent? Should we do that? Let me make some adjustments here. I'm going to move my mic, so hopefully you guys can still hear me okay. If not, let me know. I'm going to move the camera, and hopefully this doesn't go badly. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to turn it off, because I'm going to go overhead. That's what people prefer, right? Ooh, just drop something. It's okay. How are we going? Overhead. What a treat. What a treat. Can I get this adjusted a bit better? I know what I haven't done. One moment, please. All right. Here we go. Here we go. As I say, I've moved things around, so let me know you can still hear me okay. Can I get this more overhead? I do not know. Let me just try to get this the best I can. Let's hope that's going to work. Let's hope that's going to work. Yay, unboxing. Looking forward to seeing him. Me too. Have you seen Present Toys Magneto? What a beast of a diorama-based big hand of Sentinel. The head sculpt is good. Also, no, I have not. When was that released? Yes, I want to see how good he is before I get my Harvey Dent from Kit. Hopefully soon. Sterling's Fine Art says, I want that Harvey Dent. Love Billy D. I do too. Cool box art. It is. I was really digging the box art, but it was it's like shrink wrapped, which I don't feel like I've had from a Mars Toys figure in the past. I feel like normally you have a sort of loose cardboard box that is sticky taped down. So this was a bit different from them. So I left it in the shrink wrap. So you know I haven't seen anything. Authentic unboxings. That's what we're all about here. No shipper box or whatnot, but came really well packaged from 1/6 Kit. He had some bubble wrap and he had those bit of ASMR for the folks. Those sort of plastic corners. So it looked like it arrived really good. But yeah, the box is cool. Mr. D, we've got Batman logo, 6-scale collectible figure. Got a bit of a picture there, a bit of Gotham on the background. Just so the picture sort of wraps around. Then we've got a couple of images of the figure. That's cool. More of the same, more of the same. But, you know, we're not here to look at boxes. We're here to look at figures. And Mars Toys, I've got a few of their figures now. And I have to say, I've been really happy with particularly all the figures from the 89 to 97 line. I've got the Bruce Wayne, I've got the Alfred, I've got the Riddler, I've got the Two-Face. They've done really good work. Ooh. It's a nice picture, isn't it? That would be quite cool for photography. I think for a lot of different 89 or maybe even 92 figures. I like that. That's very nice. Good on you, Mars Toys. That looks cool. I'm digging it. I'm digging it a lot. Trying to pack things away neatly as I go. And look, let's be honest, this is a pretty simple release. There's probably not a lot of complex parts and pieces to it, but, you know, we'll take a look. I like to unbox things with you guys. You know, it gives us something non-Star Wars to talk about. Always a treat. Okay. All right, we've got a few bits and pieces here. So he does come with some swap-out hands. So these are just closed fists. So I'm guessing he's got some, I'm hoping he's got some, that looks kind of interesting, doesn't it? I'm hoping he's got, the hands on the body can use the cigar. That would be nice, but there's a bit of the sort of veins in the hands, I think you'd call them. They look all right. They look all right. If you got any questions as we go, let me know. I can see the comments, so do let me know if you have questions. We got the cigar. Cigar looks cool. It's got the one end to look like it's lit up, which is nice. It's even got like the sort of wrapping, like the line of the wrapping of a cigar around, so that's cool. Oh, we have a little rose here. These accessories are very small, so they're a bit hard for me to show you. But it looks like it is magnetic. So it's got a little magnet and you have the other magnet attached to it. So if you want to attach the rose to his lapel, you can do that magnetically, which I think is really nice. Nobody wants to be mucking around with pins or press studs or having like little cuts in the jacket and little wires. So I think magnetic rose is a nice little touch, Mars Toys. Look at you go. So yeah, as I said, magnet. Come on. Magnet, magnet. Very cool. Nice cigar. It is nice. So we have some like spare buttons here. I'm wondering where these are for. I'm wondering if they're for one of the jackets. I'm not entirely sure because these look to be kind of clear. I'm thinking these might be for this jacket, but you've got how many of them? I've got 5 spares, which is pretty generous. So thank you, Mars Toys. Very kind of you to think of us. Oh, one of my feet is not attached. That's a bit of fun. Put the figure aside for a second. We'll have a look at the clothing accessories here. Am I getting the Let's Get Nuts Bruce Wayne? Good question. I feel like I shouldn't want that figure, but I kind of want that figure. So I don't know. I'm debating it right now. I'm debating it because I do like the idea of him not in a tuxedo, but then if all the other Bruce Waynes are going to be in tuxedos, do I want them to match? I don't really know. So we've got the scarf, quite a long scarf here. Grey scarf. It's got the sort of fringe bit there, which is nice bit of detail. It's not, sometimes you see scarves and they're just plain fabric, but it's got that sort of, would you call it like a tassel? I don't know. This is where I wish I had better words to use, but both sides have that sort of tassel like you would have with the scarf, so that's good. As I say, it's quite long. It's as long as the box, so yeah, there you go. Nice scarf. Then we've got his big sort of overcoat here, black. It's got a nice feel to the fabric, black lining. I think those spare buttons are for this jacket because this looks like they're more sewn on buttons. I'm trying to tell if these are real buttonholes. I don't think they are real buttonholes. They do have buttons on the front, but I don't know that they are real buttonholes. Are the pockets real? Hey, pockets are real. That's a nice touch. Mars Toys. That's cool. So if you want, you can pose him with his hands in his actual pockets. That's nice. Jacket looks cool. Jacket looks cool. We'll pop that there as well. Okay, so this is interesting. A very different base. Why is that so interesting, Helen? So Mars Toys, with all of their 89 to 97 figures, first and foremost, they have done more of the rectangular Age of Ultron size bases. But what they have always given us is a metal nameplate with the character's actual name. So they've never done, like, with the Bruce Wayne figure, the nameplate said Bruce Wayne. It didn't say Mr. W. So this is quite interesting. I wonder if they're becoming a bit concerned about copyright or being noticed, and that's why they've done this, because this is not typically what they've done. They've had bases more, like I know with the Mr. W, I'm pretty sure it was like the movie Batman symbol. And then, as I say, the metal nameplate says Bruce Wayne. For Alfred, it says Alfred Pennyworth. For Two-Face and the Riddler, it has their names. This has no name at all. But then this is, a very different both size and style. And it is a very typical third-party base, but it is a bit of a bummer because, as I said, I liked the fact that Mars Toys were giving you bases that you didn't necessarily feel like you had to swap out. Whereas this, I'm not using this. I mean, nice to have a graphic base, but I wish it was just the Gotham background scene without this Mr. D. I think that would have been a nicer way to do it. If they were concerned about using the real character name and the logo, I think just having this background image of Gotham, I think that would have been a nicer way to do it for me personally. So pretty standard base. I hate putting them in for the first time. But yeah, standard crotch grabber, but yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. As I say, I used to like the way that they had the actual characters' names and the metal nameplates. So we got a lot of plastic. My guy's lost a shoe in transit. What a shame. So authentic unboxings, folks. I'm happy to report he does have socks, which might sound weird, but I do like a suited figure to have socks. Ooh. The knees are ratcheted, folks. That's nice. That's a treat. Okay. Let's get you. Yeah, there's also some plastic around the body, around the suit. Just taking a moment to look at Harvey Dent. He does have sort of more open hands. I'm not really sure how the cigar's going to work with them, but maybe we'll give that a go, yeah? Maybe we'll see how that is. But seriously, I'm liking how this looks. I think that's a really nice head sculpt. It's a really nice head sculpt. I hope my camera and my lighting is doing it some justice, but like the tailoring of the suit, to me, it's looking pretty nice. It sits pretty well on the body. Like anybody who's been collecting for a while will remember suits where the jacket's kind of tented out, but this sits pretty nice to the body. And I'm pretty sure those replacement buttons must be for this jacket here. But I think the tailoring of the suit is really nice. It's really nice. He's got the vest. He's got a belt. Oh, or are they for here, actually? I think they're for the shirt. Excuse me. Because he's got two little buttons here. So they're actually, okay, I stand corrected. They're for the shirt. Which is not attached down, but that's okay. It's a nice touch. The vest is with press studs, which I'm not going to lie, is not my favourite way to do it. But I will say, even though they're using the press studs, it does still sit pretty nicely to the body. Are these real buttonholes? I don't know if these are real buttonholes on the jacket. I don't like press studs because I feel like I'm very prone to breaking press studs. What do you think? I'm really impressed with this. I'm trying to remember what this cost. I feel like it was maybe $150 US, which is not expensive. I think it's done really nicely. So the knees, they're definitely ratcheted, which is nice. What have we got for articulation? So it is a bit limited by the suit. So the arms kind of can go out to there. Really good elbow articulation there. Standard wrist. Get a bit of crunch. Swivels around. The shoes are really nicely detailed as well. Are they brogues? They remind me of brogues, like brown brogue shoes. So the leg coming out only goes to about there, but the knee bend is, look at that. It's always hard to work out what, like that's very good knee bend right there. You can get him in all kinds of crazy poses, your Harvey Dent. Standard ankle. So the elbows don't feel ratcheted to me, but the knees definitely, that sound it's making, they sound like they're ratcheted. He looks really nice, guys. Like seriously, very nice looking figure. I'm curious to know about this cigar because the hands are just like these kind of, they look both the same. These kind of just open hands. So although I have to say the hands are very soft and pliable. So I'm kind of wondering, I don't even know how you'd hold a cigar. But okay, this is cool. You can actually fit the cigar between the fingers. And I don't know if that's how you do it. Do I smoke? I do not. But the hands are very soft. Like, I'm quite impressed with how flexible these hands are. So I think you can definitely make the cigar work. I never know how to hold these things because it's not quite overhead. But okay, the cigar can definitely, I don't know, is that where you'd put the cigar? I got no idea. No idea at all. So, do you guys want to see him with like the overcoat and the scarf? Should we do that? So I'll just pop the hands off. Give you guys. But yeah, like as I say, these hands are both the same, kind of open. But yeah, it's very soft, very flexible. This part is, these three fingers are pretty much one piece. But you can definitely fit the cigar in between the sort of index and the middle finger, and then you've got it quite open there. But yeah, they're very flexible, which is nice. Maybe slide tip of the cigar on top of the thumb like holding a pen or pencil. Okay, will that work? Because the gap is quite big there. Yeah, that feels, okay. You kind of got to have it leaning, you've got to have it, the gap here is quite big for the cigar. So I think it's going to be about how you pose it and angling it, if that's where you want it. Because, yeah, I feel like I've got to put my finger there for it to hold between the thumb and the index finger. Or maybe it's just positioning it a bit more. I don't know. As I said, not a smoker. Is the suit jacket magnetic? Nope. No, and I mean, that would have been nice for the vest, but the vest is definitely press studs. But, like, the suit is cool. Like, the pinstripes of the jacket, the shirt, the tie. I'm quite impressed with it. So we're going to try to get the overcoat on, which, why do I do these things? Because doing things like this on a stream is always an interesting life choice, but I want to show you guys how it looks because, it doesn't come with a lot of accessories, and I think two of the, key accessories are the overcoat and the scarf. So we're going to go through and show you what he looks like, fully suited and booted. Little bit of futzing required. I tell you what, some magnets would have been nice on the overcoat just to get it sitting a bit closer to the body, because I feel like the pinstripe suit is quite good at being quite form-fitting, whereas this overcoat definitely feels like it's quite big and bulky. Attaching hands, always a great thing to have to do. Let me get this right for you folks. Yeah. Oh, hello. We've got a bit of a wire. We've got a wire down at the bottom. What a treat. No wires on the front, but we definitely on the sides here, like we can see there's the split. There's definitely some wires in there. So that's a bit interesting. That's a bit fun. Okay, so this is, oh God, getting it right is going to be, this is the trench coat. It maybe needs a bit more futzing, but for me, I feel like the figure kind of loses a bit of that aesthetic of how form-fitting it looks. Like this jacket is quite big, and I get it. It's got to go over a lot of clothing. But this is where I wish it was either real buttons or like magnetic, because you can see here, there's a lot of like excess material here. So it is a bit of a shame. On mine, it feels like there's maybe a little bit of like glue on the lapel here. Can you see that little sort of shiny bit there? I don't know if that's anywhere else. So that's a bit of a bummer. I don't think I'm going to use it with this, to be honest. It feels just very big and poofy, and yeah, I'd rather just have him in the suit because I feel like he looks a lot nicer just with the suit. Get the scarf. Actually, you know what? Like, even with the lapel, like, you can hide it with the scarf. So while it's not ideal to have a little glue spot there, I feel like you've got that option with the scarf. You can hide it. So that is definitely a sin we can hide. I feel like this scarf material may be prone to leaving a little bit of lint on the figure. But that's him with this trench coat, if that's the look you so desire to use. Oh, looks better with the coat on, you think? S-Beam, thank you for the super chat. That's super kind. $2 super chat from S-Beam. Appreciate that. Thanks for the unboxing. You're welcome. Body feels strong and sturdy. Yeah, I mean, the body feels okay. The knees ratcheted. That was a nice bonus. Don't normally feel like I get that with third-party figures. Let me scroll up to see what else. Wowzers, his knee joints sound like mine. They're impressively sounding, seriously. Who's brought up Jazz Inc? Why am I seeing comments about Jazz Inc? Um, oh, people talking about the concept. Yeah, I saw people wanting Mars Toys to do a concept Two-Face version of this figure. So be interesting to see. Laughing at Mr. D on the base. Yeah, that's unfortunate. All the other bases are much much nice much nicely done. That's not good English. They look a bit more professional having the actual character name. And as I said, if they were concerned about using the character name, I wish they had just used that background image of Gotham. Just give us a clean graphic display base. Like, that would have been nice. That Mr. D logo looks like AI. Maybe should have been on an oval base. I mean, this is what gets me. Like, changing the shape of the base kind of annoys me. Like, I don't love the Age of Ultron style bases, but if that's what you've gone with, like, why are you suddenly changing it up now? Like, that is, I mean, and I swap out all my bases, so I'm glad I do that, because having a mixed match of bases would annoy me. Typical third-party ankles. Yeah, I mean, they're okay. Would I have this without a display stand? Probably not. Probably not. But they're not the worst I've seen. Everybody's enjoying the knees. How's the sculpt? I think the sculpt is really nice. I think it's a really good head sculpt. I like it a lot. It's got quite a bit of like sculpted detail in the hair. I think it looks really good. Tiny Art Guy says he's impressed. I'm impressed. I just don't know if I'm going to use it with this big, bulky overcoat. Yeah, they did a good job. That sculpt looks good. I agree, S-Beam. Suit hangs well, not too thick. Yeah, I think the underlying suit does. I think this, I'm going to take the scarf off because it's going to be... I feel like this trench coat is a bit bulky. And as I said, I think if there had been magnetic connection here, it would have been a bit nicer. But there feels like there is a lot of excess material. And I get it. You've got to get it over the suit. But it definitely is not as form-fitting as just the pinstripe suit underneath. Like, the tailoring on that pinstripe suit, I'm really happy with. Thanks, nice. You're welcome. From here, it looks like him in the movie, so that's more than what you need from a third-party figure. Yeah, I think Mars Toys has been doing a really good job. I think their Alfred Pennyworth head sculpt is really good. I was really happy with the Riddler and Two-Face. The Mr. W sculpt I liked. I just felt like the paint application was maybe a little bit too pale, but I feel like it looks like Michael Keaton though, so I can kind of forgive that. Body feels strong and sturdy. I mean, the body feels fine. I mean, the ankles, yeah, might be a little bit a touch loose, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with it. Blue Tattoo says, I'm digging it. Looks pretty dang good. I think he looks really, really good. Really good. As I said before, suit jacket, definitely not magnetic. As I said, I would have even just liked if these were real buttonholes. Like, it's actually not that hard to do up a suit with real buttons. I know some people get annoyed by them, but what I do is I just get a piece of string and I thread it around the button, and then you can use that to pull it through the buttonhole. Like, I've got a little YouTube short showing how to do that. So I think that's probably one thing I would have liked, because these feel like it's just a stitch to represent a buttonhole, but not an actual buttonhole itself. And yeah, this little bit of glue or whatnot on the lapel is a bit of a bummer, but as I said, I can cover it up with the scarf, so at least there's that option. You got a two-face display going on now. Tommy Lee Jones, Aaron Eckhart, this guy, and J&D's Aaron Eckhart. No, I don't have J&D's Aaron Eckhart. I don't know why you think I've ordered that. I have definitely not. Looks better with the coat on. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Is he the best Mars Toys item you have? Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, it's good, but I think of the level of accessories that have come with Riddler and Two-Face really makes me it's hard to pick this one, because I mean, this, it just has the cigar and the rose. That's fine. I don't really know what else you'd want him to come with. Speaking of, should I try to put the rose on? Let's see how that works. So I think it's probably got to be, maybe it's the Riddler. Although the only thing I don't like about the Riddler is the way the suit comes over the hands, because if you want to have him without the jacket, it makes it a bit difficult. So there we go. Magnetic rose holding into place really nicely. That's a nice little touch. Look at that, magnetic. Look, the rose is probably not winning any awards for realism, but you know, it does the job. I think in a display, it'll be fine. This coat is a little bit of a dust magnet. You know, I live with a cat, as you guys know. So I think one of those IKEA sticky rollers is probably going to be this guy's friend if you're going to use him with this coat. Very nice piece. Amazing unboxing. Thank you. I don't know how amazing it was, but, you know, we're trying. We got the overhead camera. We're fancy. We're fancy. Looks great. Price point is rare in a figure of this quality. Yeah, I think that's the thing that's really impressive, because even with the Let's Get Nuts Bruce Wayne, I think that as well is only $150 US, where when you think about it, again, you're getting the suit, an overcoat, you're getting the fire poker, the metal tray, glasses, a really nice looking head sculpt. I think they're doing very good bang for buck on these figures. I really do think Mars Toys, and I think, again, this is a simple release. I think $150 US is a pretty reasonable price, whereas I think for a lot of third-party figures now, it feels like they are creeping more up into like the $200 price range. So having this at around $150, I think is really cool. I'm really happy with that. 14 Wellington's here. Hiya. Hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Display Lab Collectibles. Morning Mates. Well, that's a new name, and morning to you. It's going to be morning for me in 8 minutes. What a treat. I'm 8 minutes away from Saturday, guys. But yeah, as I said, the wires in the coat is a nice touch. I wasn't expecting that. Just along the edges here, nothing at the front. And as I said, I do feel like the overcoat is a bit big. You are losing a bit of that form. But I think, you know what? Maybe you could do your own little magnetic thing. If you had little round disc magnets like the rose, you could put here and here and get that looking a bit more form-fitting. Because it is just, yeah, a lot of material. If you have it just sort of not pushed in the way I have it, you definitely lose how form-fitting this was. I'm gonna put the rose back. Magnetic rose, seriously, like that's cool. I'm gonna take the coat off so I can show you him in the suit again. Because, you know, I'm a mad woman. Why not? I do feel like I probably will just have him in the suit. But I also need to work out placement in my display because my 89 to 97 shelf is looking pretty full. I'm not mad about it. You know, this is a figure I never thought we'd get. I mean, who would have thought we were getting Harvey Dent from the 89 Batman movie? And I mean, this is the thing. It's, you know, let's be honest. It's not a character that has a huge deal of screen time. But I think it's cool that we're getting him. I like that Mars Toys is kind of going deep into these movies. Like, they showed a Max Shrek head sculpt at one stage. Yeah, I would not be using this without a stand. Look at that. These are, yeah, the ankles are a weak point. I think you can probably have him up for a bit to take your pictures, but this feels very loose, very loose. I wouldn't be trusting him long term to be standing on his own. But as I said, the pinstripe suit to me looks really great. Sits really nicely on the body. Really nicely done. Mars Toys, good job to you, my friends. Well, not my friends, you don't know me, but, you know, I like you. If you want to be friends, that would be amazing. Really well done. Really well done. He definitely needs a display stand. Let me come back into frame. Hi. Super high tech. Let me lift myself back up. Hello, can I get old mate into the frame? That would be nice. That would be nice. He definitely needs a display stand. There he is. Mr. D, our Harvey Dent. Looking pretty great, if you ask me. Very happy with this. Hopefully he's in focus. That would be nice. Let me see what else you've got to ask or say. I'll probably wrap this up soon, but if anybody has any questions on the figure, let me know. I'll do my best to answer, whether that's live now or in the replay later. Definitely let me know what you want to know. How does it compare with the Lando from Hot Toys? How would I know? I'm literally the last person on earth who would know. I have never owned a Star Wars figure in my life. I'm so sorry. I know he's in Star Wars. Do you know how I know that? Because he was at a convention in America the last time I went to America. And I was looking at the guest list. I was in Bob Dylan's town. And I said, Bob Dylan, it's a lot of money to get a photo with Harvey Dent from Batman 89, because I met Charlie Cox, Daredevil himself, and Harvey Dent was like 3 times the price of Daredevil, and Bob's exact words were, wow, you really don't know anything about Star Wars, or you've never seen Star Wars. I'm like, I'm not lying, I have no idea. And he's like, oh, he's in Star Wars. I was like, oh. So yeah, I'm sorry, I have no idea. You're joking. Well, I would hope so, because, dude, come on now. Although some people think it's an act. The whole no Star Wars thing. It's not an act. It's genuinely the truth. Where did they go? I don't know where they went. But as I said, I think this is a total win. And fun fact, this is the only thing I've pre-ordered in 2026. This is the only figure I have pre-ordered this year. And I like that Mars Toys is doing a bit more of the quicker turnaround with we're going to wait till the figure is far more in development before we put it up for pre-order. I know some people are like, oh, it was meant to come out in March, April. Look, it came out in May. It was maybe 2 to 3 months from announcement to release, which, let's be honest, in this hobby is pretty amazing. I'm never going to complain if I can pre-order for something and get it in 3 months. Like, that's really good. So I'm keen to see what else they do now. As I said, I'm very tempted by the other Keaton. I kind of feel like I want to get it so then I can decide, and then if I decide to have that over the Mr. W, I can move one on, reuse the tuxedo for something else. I'm not entirely sure. But as I said, in my logical mind, I'm like, you've got Tuxedo Bruce. Why do you need another one? But part of me really wants that brown suit. And I think as well, it's if someone does a Vicky Vale, it would be nice to have the Bruce that goes with Vicky's outfit. And we don't know. If anybody does a Vicky, what outfit are they going to do? And I think finding one of these in the secondary market is going to be easier said than done, because I've seen quite a few people, particularly with the Hot Toys Batman Returns, then wanting the Mr. W for that head sculpt. And it's very hard to find. And I know Kento has done or is doing the tuxedo. I have said this before, but I'll repeat it again. I got the Christian Bale grey pinstripe suit from them, and that white shirt is not holding up well. It's discoloring, so I'm probably not sure that I would really do a lot with Kento. I got their John Wick 2 suit as well, because that had the tie pin, and I was really interested in that. The tailoring on that, it's not. Like, the Topo one is clearly a lot better. So for those couple of factors, I wouldn't sit here and endorse getting the Kento suit, because as I said, my white suit from the white shirt from the Christian Bale Bruce Wayne is already yellowing. So something to be mindful of, because nobody wants Bruce in a tux and the shirt is yellowing. The older they get, the more they charge, it seems. Oh, yeah, at conventions. I mean, yeah, again, another reason why I'm glad I'm not a Star Wars fan. I look at how much like Luke Hamill and some of those people charge, and I'm kind of happy that's not of interest to me. But yeah, I was like, oh, Charlie Cox, so reasonably priced. And then yeah, I saw what Billy D. Williams was charging, and I'm pretty sure it was like $200 or $250 for like a photo. And I was like, I can get many photos with Charlie Cox for that same price. So I got a photo with Charlie Cox, and I found out his brother lives in Perth as well. That was, I think it freaked him out a bit, because I was like, because he's like talking, oh, where are you from? I said I was from Perth. He's like, oh, my brother's from Perth. I'm like, this was a couple years ago. Oh, I'm going there soon. I was like, oh, that's where I'm from. He was just like, oh, what are the odds? I'm like, I don't know, dude, but that's so random that you have a brother that lives in Perth. Anyways, I'm going to guess there's no more questions about Mr. Dent. Let me just give a moment. If there's any last minute questions, let me know. I'll answer them. Otherwise, I will sign off, because it is officially Saturday. Happy Saturday to me. Good morning to me. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. Hope you enjoyed the unboxing. As I said, I'm really happy with this. I think it's a really nicely done figure. I already have a swap out display base for him, so I'm very happy that I have that, because, yeah, this display base is a bit of a bummer, but a lot to like about it. I think, I often say about the head sculpt and that selling the figure, and I think this has a really nice likeness to Billy D. Williams. So I think Mars Toys has done a great job. So keen to see what else they give us from the 89 to 97 line. Collection Obsession is here. Hello. I pre-ordered the Wanna Get Nuts, Let's Get Nuts, Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I feel like I will order that. Probably because I'm not ordering anything else. Like, Hot Toys is not giving me anything to pre-order. Don't finish the Thunderbolts when you can make 38,000 troopers instead. The Bruce looks good. Might have to get that one. It does. And I think the head sculpt looks similar to the Mr. W, but I feel like it's definitely got different paint application. And it feels like the hairline might be a bit different. So I don't know if they've, until I've got it in hand, I can't say for certain, but I feel like they've maybe used that Mr. W sculpt as the baseline, made a few tweaks, but definitely the skin tone looked a little bit more tan, which I think looks better to me. That's my thing about the Mr. W. I think it looks like him. It just looks a bit pale in the complexion. Great show, Helen. Blessings to you. Thank you. Blessings to you too. It's 37,000 troopers, Helen. Geez, look, I'm sorry. I just spoiled the rest of May. That's what's coming in the other, 9 days left of May. I'm sorry that I spoiled the surprise, but know that Howie Claus loves you and wants you to be happy, everyone. All right. I think I want to wrap things up. Guys, thank you for coming to hang out. Hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. If you're new and you've enjoyed it, subscribe. I'm here every Friday, keeping Fridays alive. We talk about the news. I unbox things. My cat Shuri sometimes makes an appearance. What a treat. Not tonight, because she's probably in bed. It's cold. She's a cheeky monkey. So, guys, I'll leave it here for now. I'll pop some photos of the Harvey Dent on my Instagram account, so you can have a look at that as well. But have a lovely weekend. Stay safe, be happy, and I will see you next Friday. See ya.